Honourable Member for Kandy.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Me, Sanaplong contributing discussion before the Parliament today. That is the issue. No one can also issue. We will have discussing. For the first time, we will discussing issue where very sensitive. I got some emotional attachment to it, very strong. I got all sentiments whereby a nation of Papua New Guinea by expression to also various speakers of the national expression. But to require some prudent thinking along addressing whatever issue you may take in. But Mr. Assistant Speaker, me speak freely and openly as an individual member of Parliament that supports a final outcome from the process as to granting the people of Bougainville Independence. So I'm speaking from that perspective. In other words, I support the referendum results, but by me analyzing some little points as to how should we address that. As per the discussions I had from some of our leaders and those issues, there are a lot of wisdom in both sides of the discussions. But let me have the pleasure of supporting the result of the referendum based on the peace agreement. But then I'll try and highlight as to how we should address the issue. First of all, Mr. Assistant Speaker, I must express some gratitude to those people actually laid down the process that commenced to a peace agreement that was signed later. Because I, like many others have said, was a student at the University of Technology in 1988 when the crisis started. And some Bougainvillean students like Noah Mosungu and a few others who were there with me. I was the student leader there, and Noah Mosungu happened to be my secretary of the Student Representative Council, and he was somebody always moving here and there, and the Bougainvillean students, I'd organized them to fly back to Bougainville. So the Bougainville issue is one that to most Papua New Guineans, and especially those of us on the floor, including the Prime Minister, Honorable James Marape, and the others, it is in close to our heart. And it's a wonderful thing that we're discussing with fashion on this subject. Let me recognize also Australia and New Zealand. It was very difficult for when there was this big war causing thousands of people to perish. New Zealand came in, Mr. Assistant Speaker. Australia came in. They played a very big role in putting the two teams together, and we acknowledge them for their involvement. And the United Nations and others within the region and afar that contribute a lot. And we also respect those that are still working with us, like one mentioned by the former Prime Minister, Member Pangia, who is continuing to assist Bougainville and Papua New Guinea to continue to making sure that there is peace. So the issue that is before us is, do we honor, do we endorse? Does this Parliament approve or endorse the 73 or it's 93 or 97.3% result of the referendum? I argue that yes, we should. We should grant them independence. But I also argue that it should not be just independence, it should be paced out over time. We complete the process by giving them, by endorsing the results, but it should be paced out over time, and whatever time that Parliament chooses is dependent on this consultation process that we have been talking about. Because the arguments presented by both sides of the argument as to the governance structure on the ground, as to the management of resources, as to how do we help them to sustain them for the long run, those are questions that must be answered properly. Similar questions does Papua New Guinea face anyway, too. Papua New Guinea continues to face the challenge of sustainability. How do we maintain existing services? How do we look at the future sustainability of a strong economy? Those are true in Papua New Guinea as well as on Bougainville. So it will be very challenging for Papua New Guinea to just grant and give independence, and that's it. You are given independence while not addressing the issue of socio-economic sustainability for many, many years to come, for hundreds of years to come in the future. As a responsible nation of Papua New Guinea, those issues become very important that we should address. Let me just raise this point that I hear don't compare Bougainville with the rest of Papua New Guinea. Now that touches me because I've done a bit of study on Bougainville and some other parts of this country, Mr. Speaker, and let me agree with that point, that other provinces are not like Bougainville. Osimi token, you mean all Nabla province, you know, one comes from Bougainville. Me akiro the statement of Bougainville and leaders make him. You know, just because some of 25,000 man marry, lo Bougainville idana too, lo sablo Papua soldiers, the police too, planning to die. You know, long this is the reason, so let me main reason. I mean, main reason. But you look at history, Blongolia. Well, 1778. This is Bougainville, man friends have been come inside. I'm a botanist. Philibert Nembloy. Now, Louis, their friends, Bougainville, let me give him name, Bougainville, or some Bougainville, me call him today. The independent movement, Blongolia, but start long time here. You know what one province of Papua New Guinea or region elects independence? Not all of New Guinea Islands. I had former governor for Manus, Stephen Pokawan was talking about that. Said he wants the autonomy, the independence for the New Guinea Islands. That came up very, very recently. Some part of southern region, they've been talking about breaking out to become like the Australian citizens. But that has happened just recently, 1975 and up to the present time. But the Bougainvilleans, you look at the history. Look at them. Long time before. Even 1975, Mr. Assistant Speaker, time Papua New Guinea independence, Mbiania, all Bougainville independence before you. Now, approach me, Papua New Guinea is a main country, man, Kissim independence. But Bougainville has been like Kissim is before yet. No, give me Belisi. At that time, Father John Momis. Now you may call him Dr. John Momis now. You may create a provincial government. So look along Canada now, not talk people like this, the provincial government system come about Bougainville and so the Nabla too, but Amama also at least people give them some power along to manage them all yet. That's how I think the provincial government system come and said to me, I will plan the debates to come in so long. So Bougainville is different history long him. But you're not mixing one them rest of PNG. Now to me, I'm talking rest of Papua New Guinea too, through the parliament too. Almost no one Surek or some Nongutol Nabla province too will break away. I tell you, it will not happen. It cannot happen because they're not like Bougainvillians. They never started in the 1700s, not in 1800s, not in 1900s, not before 1975. No. So it will be irregular, it's inconsistent. It will be not a very relevant comparison to make. So that fear that otherwise the others must break away, I don't see it. I don't see it. Because here you say island people, Papua New Guineans, but they would like to be independent because that thinking has been there before you. So you may treat him this way also peculiar. You know, one kind of monarpla. But strong thinking must stop where you may face him out independence belong all. You must admit him too all same time. You may give him autonomy too. Also, various government may like praise him too. Minister belong Bougainville affairs now too, but we praise him at some point where I'm looking good. But the Nabla government too. Only looking good too. Only looking good long one very difficult circumstance here. Okay, the government looking good, but he got some short for two star. Well, long autonomous part belong this is phase 2 leading up to the referendum. We've only been putting strong in all this systems of governance in good Long Island. But in because Papua New Guinea, like walking, and people of Papua New Guinea main country too, people like similar kind of challenges too, long governance system from people. So people struggle when them all got governance issues. Now long island, Bougainville too, autonomous region, people not performing very, very well. So I think that was similar give him, people endorse him, this is the result of the referendum, people must endorse him, want them through the consultation that we just talked about, establish him phased out as to what kind by you make him beyond true, but all him by independent, but after people establish him all this, like want them in consultation, want them all through the process, and one blood tinti, people must come up and discuss it. But let me, Mr. Assistant Speaker, talk about work belong the present government. Present government, me talk to me looking Prime Minister, want the Minister, blah blah affairs, to try and best, not to looking good work. Me at me class and me looking. Consultation, me looking consultation. All go anga, and the governor, the grants say Peter Ibras, and Minister lab too, some langa leader will be sit down. Na mi blay looking sa consultation min ko. I'm good blood to talk come up long two blood at one time. Now recently too, tumble long APEC house too. Get good blood discussion if it come up na. Mi blood been part blood discussion too. Now two blood leader, want the president, want the prime minister. Two blood talk, we must put him this moderator, but come na pacify him or diffuse him some or misunderstanding is that being said, let him this moderator come. So I'm two blood side, one them agree. So process him and go good. Me looking more some leadership of Bougainville. One them leadership long Papua New Guinea, me looking to play consult good the process and go good. But also say to talk. You may tremble make him awareness the rest of the country. The awareness part is the ability to make him. But consultation, me looking with someone food. And Minister Magiba, man, that was a very challenging area. And he's a very young man. Very young man. He was never a minister before. But Mr. Speaker, please let's give credit where credit is due. I've always had a young man. He performed very, very well. He's very confident. He's very he's focused on the issues. I see him talk to his counterpart over there in Bougainville. They talk, and where there's a disagreement, they say we agree to disagree. And let's agree to where we agree. And where they've agreed to disagree is where the morality is coming in now. So, Parliament, through you as a speaker, let me inform all of us, we are going well on it. We're going well on it. Motivation under circumstances, we're going well on it, under the Prime Minister's guide and under the Minister's guide. But the next question now is, if we must give independence. That's my collection from everything, because what is the purpose of a peace agreement? What is it? You don't just go and say we create peace. There must be objectives that you must achieve. And the Bougainvilleans, they wanted independence. We give them a choice, independence or autonomy, or greater autonomy. They have said we want independence, and this parliament has a duty to give it to them. That's where we are. But the process of constitution, process of doing it, that now we trust the minister and the prime minister to deliver that. But the end result will be, they've decided already. We cannot decide for them. Yep. Because we came to the peace agreement with the objective that if there was peace, therefore they will be getting the independence. And that's exactly what is before us now. So let's not complicate it. Any process that needs to be done, let it be done. But the end result will be that Bougainvilleans will be given that independence. And I think that is the wisest thing to do of this process. And I do not think that the rest of Papua New Guinea will follow suit. No. That's where leadership of this parliament comes in. Governance comes in. Rule of law comes in. Equal distribution of wealth comes in. You must do those things properly. When a leadership of parliament is holding the country together with quality governance, quality rule of law, quality leadership, quality public service, no one wants to break away. Did you hear what the members of Bougainville said? My road is not sealed. Did you see what they said? They said the service are not there. Why didn't you give those to us before the referendum? You never gave it to us. That's so that you never loved us. So we have decided to break away. So let's look after Papua New Guineans better than we're looking after them now. Let's be more wiser than we have been wise most of the time. Let's give the people a service. That's how you hold the people together. Not by subjugation, not by suppression, but by quality governance, by quality leadership, quality rule of law. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.